Sixth grade Excel, lesson 100, or excuse me, lesson 16, dividing a one-digit divisor into a three-digit dividend with a two-digit quotient with regrouping and remainders. So what we're going to be doing is, you've already learned some basic long division. Now we're going to make this a little bit trickier. In the past, when you subtracted the two numbers, you got a remainder of 0 every time. Now we're actually going to get a number down there when you subtract as part of our bringing down, and we're going to end up with a two-digit answer or a two-digit quotient. This first part here is basically showing you what you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing. And so I'm going to go through this quickly with you. It's not something that you're going to need to totally have to be able to do, but it helps if you really understand what it means to do division. This is showing you the number 135 right here. We're dividing it into two equal groups. Here's 100, here's 30, and there's 5. To divide it into two equal groups, we're going to take the 100 and break it up into two groups of, what did they do here? Okay, they got two groups of 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there's my 50. There's another 50. And then, oops, another 50. And then we have to break this up into two groups. So we're going to take one of those and put it here, and one of them put it there. And then the third one, we're going to have to break into a group of 5 each, right? So put 5 squares there, 5 squares there. And then we take our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and break that up into two groups of 2 each. And so you can see we have 2 more in each one of those. And after doing that, we have 1 left over, which is our remainder of 1. Now, all of that to say that we can do it using our dead monkeys smell bad, divide, multiply, subtract, and bring down. We'll be going over that in this lesson as we go on. So we're going to check each answer that we do with multiplication just to make sure we have it right. It's always a smart thing to do. Here's our first problem, 144 divided by 4. Stay with me, go through this with me, and so you can see exactly how to do it. First, we start with 14 divided by 4. I can't do 1 divided by 4. There's not enough in the number 1 to pull 4 out of it, to divide it by 4. And so I'm going to join the 1 with the 4 to make the number 14. 14 divided by 4 is 3, because 3 times 4 is 12. Notice now when I subtract, dead monkeys smell bad. I divided, 14 divided by 4 is 3 with a remainder. And then I multiply, 3 times 4 is 12, that goes here. Now I'm subtracting, 14 minus 12 is 2. And then I'm going to bring down. I bring down the number I haven't used yet, which is the 4. And that comes down here next to the 2 and makes this form into the number 24. Some kids like to make that into a bracket with a 4 on there. So you have 24 divided by 4. You can just leave the 4 up to here if you understand what you're doing. But now I go back up to the division step and I do 24 divided by 4, which is 6. That number 6 goes right here. Then the next step is to multiply, so I do 6 times 4 is 24. Then I subtract, 24 minus 24 is 0. Then I bring down, but there are no more numbers to bring down. That means that I'm finished with the problem, and I'm going to check it by doing 36, the answer, times 4, the divisor, and make sure that I get the dividend of 144. All right, let's go ahead and do number 2 together. Stay with me, just kind of do it. Keep the video going. If you need to pause the video, that's fine. But see if you can kind of just stay up with me while the video runs and you do it on your paper. First, I'm going to do 3 into 1. That doesn't work. Not enough in 1 to divide it by 3. So I join the 1 with the 9 to make it 19 divided by 3. And skip counting kind of helps in this. You can go up. You can't go over the number, but you can count up to it. I'm using my fingers right now. I'm going 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. Oops, that's too big. So I back up and I held up 6 fingers as I counted up to 18. So I'm going to put a 6 up here because 19 divided by 3 is 6. Now I multiply as my next step. 6 times 3 is 18. And then I subtract. 19 minus 18 is 1. And then B, bring down. I bring the 2 down. And then if you want to, you can put the 3 out here. But I do 12 divided by 3. That goes in evenly. I'm starting back in at the beginning step here, the D, the dead, divide. And 4 times 3, multiply, is equal to 12. 12 minus 12 is equal to 0. So I have no remainder. And then I check it by doing 64. The quotient times the divisor of 3. 4 times 3 is 12, carry the 1. 6 times 3 is 18, plus 1 is 19. 192, 192. I can feel pretty good about my answer. If that was too fast for you, rewind and watch it again. All right, here are 3 more problems. Actually, what I'd like you to do is just number 3 for me. Pause the video, turn it back on when you're ready for the solution to that one. Okay, here we go. You should already have this done. Give it your best shot on your own. 4 goes into 13 3 times. 3 times 4 is equal to 12. 13 minus 12 is equal to 1. Now the next step is to bring down. We bring down the 8. 18 divided by 4 is equal to, let's see, 4, right? 4 times 4 is 16. 18 minus 16 is 2. So I have an answer of 34, remainder 2. Now to check that, you should have already done this. If you haven't checked it yet, pause the video and check it now. But 34 times 4, that's a really ugly 3. 4 times 4 is 16, carry the 1. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. And 136, that's 138. Those are different. Why? Well, I have a remainder. I have to add my remainder on, and I get 138, which does match up with that, so I'm feeling pretty good about my answer right now. All right, go ahead and pause the video, do 4 and 5. Turn the video back on when you're ready to see the solutions. Here we go with number 4. 5 goes into 18 3 times. 3 times 5 is 15. 18 minus 15 is equal to 3. Then I bring down my 0. To join with the 3, I'm dividing 5 into 30. 30 divided by 5 is 6. That's a pretty easy one. 6 times 5 is 30. And when I subtract, I get a 0, so the answer is 36. No remainder. 36 times 5 to check it. 6 times 5 is 30. 3 times 5 is 15. Plus 3 is 18. 180, 180. Looking good. Next one, last one. 2 into 17. 2 times 8. Notice where I'm writing this 8. I did not write it over here. If you wrote the 8 over on top of the 1, you're putting it in the wrong place. You need to keep those digits lined up. It'll become very important as you get into more advanced division problems. 8 times 2 is 16. 17 minus 16 is 1. Bring down the 1. 2 goes into 11. 5 times, right? So we have 5 times 2, which is 10. 11 minus 10 is 1. That means I have a remainder because there's no numbers left to bring down. And now I'm going to check it by doing 85 times 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 8 times 2 is 16 plus 1 is 17. Wait, that says 171, that says 170. Do you remember why? What can we do to make sure these match up? Well, we have a remainder of 1. So 170 plus 1 is 171. Voila! It matches up. Thanks for watching.